Hey guys,
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
How's
we
it
are
going
square today.
Again.
I feel like we're just trying to interview everybody in the Excel group, right? So
We have great people to interview.
We do. We have a ton of people that are doing a lot of stuff. And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Dylan. He has an interesting story, right? So like he did real estate before, kind of took a little bit of a hiatus, and now he's back. Dylan, when did you get licensed again?
Well, yeah, the grass is not always as green as you think on the other side. I originally had my license back in 2002, so a long time ago, when we still had lock boxes with wheels on them and codes. And I did that for about 4 years. I was originally with Coldwell Banker. A friend of mine who is also a realtor referred me to them because he said they had a lot of good training, a lot of good material for somebody brand new in the business, and he was right. The only downside was I was paying about 50% of my split to those guys. So after a couple of years of that, I switched over to Keller Williams, and I was with them for 2 years. So that was a little bit better split. Not quite as good of a group environment as we have here with EXP. So I knew this time around when I got relicensed, I kind of wanted to look at all of my other options, and I ended up landing here with EXP, and I'm super happy that I did. One of the things that brought me here was while I was interviewing with Daniel, he basically let me tell him what my ultimate dream was, which was to own my own brokerage where I could have a team of people working underneath me, not only focus on my own business, but focus on developing those people and growing their business, while at the same time putting a little bit of money back in your own pocket for doing that. EXP basically gives me the opportunity to have the best of both worlds. Now I feel I can still do that without taking on all the extra risk and time involved becoming an actual broker. So I'm super excited about this opportunity, and so far it's been pretty amazing.
So you kind of took a little bit of a break, right? As we mentioned, when did you come back? I know that you were kind of here, but you weren't involved in the meetings initially, but you were watching the recordings from what we heard.
Yeah,
I remember that.
So, I kind of had to figure out a way to make this transition work. During the time that I left real estate, I basically went back to school, got an accounting degree, ultimately landed myself in management with Costco Wholesale, worked my way up to a senior manager at one of the warehouses there. Actually, I opened the store here in Wesley Chapel as their marketing manager. So that was a great experience. But I also kind of realized that, you can show up every day, give it 150%, be the one picking up the slack for everybody, working those long hours, and still only getting 100% of the paycheck. So the ceiling was not quite as high as it is doing something like real estate. So I just kind of felt that burning desire to do something that was a little bit more under my own control, with my own ceiling as high as I want it to be. So that's why I got back into the business. And obviously it took me a little strategizing how I was going to do that, put the pieces together. So just about a year ago is when I got my license, and back in, I would say it was about March, I was able to go to a part-time position where I am now available at about 9:30 every morning. So I keep a little bit of a safe paycheck going there to get me going, keep some benefits for the family. But now I consider myself full-time realtor.
That's amazing. Now, being the marketing manager, how does that play into real estate?
Well, you definitely learn how to talk to people, kind of how to read people. I've made some good connections around town. So I know the president of the Chamber of Commerce over here pretty well. So, I'm going to be chatting with her and working with her to figure out what are the new businesses coming into town and figure out how I can leverage those opportunities to my favor. Plus, just kind of getting your face out there in the community. I mean, it was a great way to, as you're out there marketing, you're talking to other businesses, you just start making contacts and building your network, really. So I think that's a big part of what we do is just building a network and building those relationships and rapport with people. People want to buy a home from somebody that they trust and somebody that they like. So, you know, it was a great way to kind of establish that much, at least.
Hey, Dylan.
Yes.
Where are you located? I spend a lot of time there, but you haven't mentioned it yet.
Oh, in Wesley Chapel?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Wesley Chapel is booming out here.
Yep. New build alley.
It definitely is. Yeah. So if you're looking for a nice new build, this seems to be the hot spot right now.
Yeah.
Seems like there's just new large communities popping up everywhere. A lot of the resort style communities. So yeah, I mean it's good, but these new builds are not exactly cheap like they used to be. They're not exactly willing to budge like they used to be. So you kind of got to set the expectation with your buyers so they're not shocked.
Yeah. And they kind of discount us too as realtors who, you know, we're still doing the same amount of work as it is here. I don't know how it is where you guys are, but at least here in Jacksonville, I think they're giving I think at max 1%.
Oh,
yeah, wow. It depends on who the builder is. I won't mention names, but yeah.
I've heard that some of those builders are actually turning things and starting to offer 2.5% again. So
okay,
we'll see.
Yeah, I noticed the tides are slowly turning. I'm at least happy to see somewhere I went yesterday and looked at a townhouse for a buyer. They're not making people bid and fight over the homes like they were.
That depends on the builder as well.
Yeah, well, at least one of them had changed. So
right.
Hopefully that's a good sign for the buyers.
Yeah, I'm under contract right now. One in Wesley Chapel, and I'm getting 3%, and we didn't have to bid. So
nice.
Don't mind it.
Yeah.
You have to do like this. You gotta do one of those. Dylan,
appreciate it.
I was gonna ask you, like when you first started, I want to know what was like your biggest hurdle to kind of like break your way into the industry, and then after leaving, then like returning, do you see that original hurdle like represent itself, or is there another hurdle that you see coming back into the industry?
Because you're in another state too, right?
When I first did real estate, I lived in Denver.
Right.
So, you know, as far as location, I don't feel like that made a big difference, but to some degree, you know, I'm finding that I am rebranding myself to everybody that already knows me as, you know, Dylan the Realtor. And so the first time I got into the business, obviously I was a lot younger. I want to say I was about 22 years old. So one of the challenges I faced was just having credibility with, you know, more established kind of middle-aged professionals out there. You know, it was a little tougher for them to look at a 22-year-old and expect that he had the experience that maybe a 30 and 40-year-old would. So obviously that's a hurdle I'm not dealing with now. But I am still working to kind of rebrand myself with everybody I know and get them to also think of me as Dylan the Realtor, not just, you know, Dylan their neighbor or, you know, Dylan their friend from the golf course or, you know, whatever that may be.
The Costco guy.
Yeah, Dylan the Costco guy. That's probably the biggest thing to shape. Now Dylan the Realtor.
That's a big name, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me, many of the neighbors know me as Dylan the Costco guy, so I now have to remind them, you know, I'm Dylan the Realtor.
Yeah, it feels really odd when like a friend or an acquaintance does like introduce you as a realtor and like are like the commercial guy. Like, oh, this is like I just noticed this past you know, December and January, people are starting like, oh, this is Alex, he's the commercial guy, you know, and I'm just like, okay, cool. I guess like, you know, what I'm doing is working to some degree.
Yeah.
That's how I describe you during calls. I'm like, this is Alex, he's the commercial guy, and this is
Good, it's sticking.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Dylan, so you kind of mentioned earlier, you are looking to kind of like grow a team. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean,
our group, sorry, a group, our team, what have you?
Yeah, no, more like I guess a group. I guess as time goes on, I'll kind of fine tune what that vision is going to entail. As of right now, I just kind of want to remaster everything and get my own program to a point where I feel comfortable, teaching other people and then letting them know that I got a foolproof program that I can share with them. But ultimately, I guess having a management experience background now, it's a skill I don't want to lose, and it's a skill that I think brings a lot of opportunity to, share what makes your job or what makes you good at your job with everybody else, and benefit from that a little bit, but just help everybody and kind of expand your reach a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. That's what I've seen with like EXP, which I think is like really cool, is that I see these quote unquote older like realtors who just, they've been in real estate forever, but it's like them. And I'm like thinking that's great for them, but I was like, I don't see myself at a certain age, driving around and meeting these people. And on top of that, I think it'd be more like beneficial for myself to bring other people in and train them and bring them up and create my own, either be my own group or my own team, or doing the mentorship program here at EXP. I just don't, long term, I just don't see myself being, knocking on doors, if that's a thing, even if it's a thing now, I don't know. But yeah. I don't see myself doing that at 50, 60 years old. And on top of that, I don't see myself leaving this industry either.
Yeah. Some of us just like to teach.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think that EXP gives you a lot of opportunity to kind of diversify your opportunities. So
I was really just going to say that. One of the benefits of our brokerage, thankfully. So. Yep.
I think we can all agree on that.
Mm-hmm. And then you've had a closing. I tell these people I do these agent attraction calls, and these people, they have like anxiety about being quote unquote cloud brokerage. And yeah. I try to explain to them, I say a large majority of what we do already, like no matter if you're brick or mortar or not, has already been like cloud-based. Like when you do your passive purchase and sell agreement, that's done DocuSign. I'm sure there's some old school realtors out there with a pen having people sign stuff, or if like Kristen, and you bring a pen with you, you have people sign stuff for you. But I tell people, I was like, you go to a Verizon Wireless or whatever cell phone company, you sign a contract, it's all like digital. So that's already a large portion of like what we do is the contract. And that's already been cloud-based for a while now. It's just that tiny little portion of the quote unquote training, which, unfortunately with COVID, we've all gone to Zoom anyway. I really don't see any difference. And I as someone as yourself who just closed something, I almost think it's like better, but it is better. But I thought it was kind of cool. Like when you look at all like you're clear to close and all like the documents you need, it's like a video game. Everything's like clearly there for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit, new at the beginning, and you kind of have to just go through the process to really put the pieces of the puzzle together. But I think it's a big time advantage for us. So we can be a lot more productive. We don't have to drive here and there and wait in this Florida traffic to get to our office. You can go sit down at your dining room table, or go to your home office, hop on your computer, do what you got to do, take care of more people at once. I think it's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, did you just call me old?
I don't think that was a word. Experienced.
No, I'm pretty sure you called me old.
There are some experienced agents.
Right past it.
There are some experienced agents who are using pen and paper. That's a slick move though. Kristen, that's really slick. Kristen came to her, was it your listing appointment?
I'm not telling those secrets.
Okay, yeah, we won't go there. We'll
I am not giving those secrets away.
You can do exactly what she did, but you can also send it DocuSign as well.
I'm not telling you how I do my listing appointments.
Or like you could be like me. So I got myself a new laptop. I got like a 3-in-1. So even if someone doesn't feel comfortable like with the DocuSign having something emailed, I already have it pulled up on my computer. It's like touchscreen, and I also bought the pen for it as well. So I'm like, here you go. So
That's what I need to get. I've been looking into one of those too. I like the choices, right? Some people like to write things down, so.
I like owning my own business because you get to be creative. You get to decide what direction it goes in and stuff. I do not like purchasing my own stuff though.
No. Don't
I'm
like that one
Dad, can
bit.
you just get that for me, please? Like,
Dylan, though, it's really interesting because it feels like you and I like walk the same path. It's like vice versa. I started with I'm not gonna even say the names, but just the names that you said. I did it in reverse order, and I just thought it was interesting because the first brokerage, the second one that you mentioned, they have they call the Ignite program. I don't know if they'll still call it Ignite under your time there, but that was like maybe a 2 to 3 week type of thing, and I thought it was just like fluff. There wasn't much like real training going on. It was just like, and it was on Zoom too, which is kind of funny. We did all of our training on Zoom there. And then when I went to the other brokerage, I feel it was 3 days of just contract training and how to submit your contracts. And that was all you got. And then you would have in-person office, you'd have to go to training. But it was like, okay, we have Joe Schmo plumber company coming in to talk about plumbing. And then it'd be like next week, oh, we're having blah, blah inspector coming to talk about the inspection. And I'm like, you can only go through so many of those meetings before you're like, okay, I understand what the inspection is. I understand what I understand what they're doing. I understand so when people tell me, I don't know if you can agree or add to it, but I feel a lot of the training it's literally you're learning as you go. It's as long as you understand that purchase and sell agreement, which from my understanding, I've only done Florida, but I know that Florida is supposed to be known for the easiest purchase and sell agreement. We don't need attorneys on it. You need a closing, you need a title company, but you don't need per se an attorney doing the front leg work. I mean, they're doing like the back work.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think Florida definitely has an easy contract. And anybody who's new getting into the business, you're absolutely right. You just kind of have to go through that process and trust that you're here to fill out those predetermined forms. So you really, yes, you can mess things up, but you can't mess it up that bad. I mean, take your time, learn those contracts inside and out. I know for a while there when I was before I had any deals going on, I would actually read that sale contract front to back every day. I think I did that for 2 to 3 weeks and just really soaked that in. There's YouTube videos you can watch out there that really break down every single section. So that's a good way to boost your confidence. And then you can focus more on your business strategy, how you're going to get business and what you're going to do when you do get that business.
I took a lot of Florida contract classes in EXP World. Yeah. And that was great because they would concentrate on different areas of the contract. And that was back in November when they were making the changes to the contracts too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, this is going to be the new version, but we can't release it yet, but we'll go over it. And I'm like, okay. So
yeah, those are great. Good. Yeah, we got a lot of good training. I think we can take the best of the best people and kind of bring them all to one location through the virtual platform that we have.
Right.
And I think people are slowly seeing that like advantage because like the past brokerages I've been at, it's funny. I keep up with these people like on Facebook and then be like, oh, I just switched to EXP, or I just like, I'm like, why didn't you go with me?
Yeah. I got friends like that as well. I kind of look at them and I, in my mind, know that it's probably just a matter of time.
Yep.
Once people start opening their minds a little bit more to our systems, they'll realize. I mean, it's definitely the direction of the future, and we're going to be the masters of it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. What are we looking at for time, Alex?
I think we're good. We're good on time.
We have a little bit more.
We're good. We did our 15 minutes.
15 minutes of fame.
Yeah. Okay.
I like your shirt, by the way, Alex.
This?
Yep.
That is right.
Nice.
Exp.
No, it's correct to me on this side. So.
Oh, it is correct. I'm just saying, like, people are like, EXP, they're exp. What's exp? Yeah. Let me tell you. I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
How much time you got?
Guys, is, man, it calls attention, right? It's bright. It's like, boom, here I
I
am.
like that.
Yeah, I was
Come
wearing
ask
this
a
in the
question.
car. My daughter's like, "Is your shirt glowing or is it just reflecting the sun?" I'm like, "I don't know, maybe a little bit of both. Maybe I'm
Beautiful.
glowing."
Go turn the light off, see if you glow in the dark. Like that's
Yeah,
like,
this should be glow in the dark. That'd be pretty awesome.
oh my
t-
gosh. Could you-
I'll tell my wife, I'm like, the EXP shirt don't come off.
Mm-mm.
Oh
Don't have
dear.
that.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
Okay, so on that note,
No.
nightmares, children.
We actually got
Nightmares.
our 10-minute warning, so we're good.
Oh, we did. Yeah, I see that.
Dylan,
All right,
thanks so
guys.
much, man. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you
Thank you,
taking the
guys.
time to talk to us and be part of our show, and I hope you get some traffic from this, the time you spent with us.
Yes. We should probably start doing this with our guests. Dylan, where can people reach out to you and get more information about you?
So I'm on Facebook. You can find me there, Dylan Dalton. Also, I have my own website, dylan.dalton at exp.com. That's my email. So you can email me there. You can call me directly if you like. That's always a great option. Call or text at 303-523-0601.
We can put that in the comments or description.
I'm gonna
too.
put it in the description as well.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I know. I'm working on getting my Facebook business page going, but I don't quite have that yet. I want to get some content in there first. So yeah, I wish I had that ready to go for this, but it didn't quite happen.
No worries. Hey, they got the website, right? So
Yeah. Yep.
all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. This has been awesome, and maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, likewise.
In
Our
Our
person.
anniversary. We'll have an anniversary episode.
There we go. I like that. Put me on the calendar.
We're doing something in June, right? Like this is definitely happening. So
Right.
we can all like meet up. So
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
all right, guys.
Uh,
Like and
Bye.
subscribe.
Yep. Thank you guys. Take care.
Thanks.